From Lockport to Lackawanna, covering all of Western New York, this is News 4, your local news leader.
The Jack and Jill of America's Buffalo chapter is celebrating young black men while also giving back to the community.
To tell us about the 17th Biennial Beautillion Extraordinaire Gala happening next month. Right now we are joined by some wonderful folks to tell us all about it. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
For those who don't know, before we talk about the gala, tell us a little bit about what exactly Jack and Jill of America is.
Well, Jack and Jill of America was founded in 1938, January 24th to be specific, by 20 women who wanted to create an experience for their children that included social as well as cultural support, particularly when they were in areas that they weren't surrounded by a lot of people from their own culture. The membership remains with the mother, and it's an organization intending to better and support children.
And is it primarily geared to young black men, or does it differentiate it at all?
No, the Beautillion is, and the Beautillion, the best way I could describe it would be, in terms of correlation, would be, it's sort of like the cotillions that they have for debutantes and things like that, and it includes a rites of passage, which is an African-themed component of it, which is a coming-of-age kind of ceremony. But Jack and Jill of America is for children in general. It's male and female.
So this gala, it's a celebration of that leadership, right? Mm-hmm. How is that journey, seeing these young men, you know, where they start, like young men like Stas here, to the gala itself, to see how far they've come?
So I can answer that question. It has been amazing to see how much they've grown so much in knowledge, in experience, in etiquette, in respect from the first time they actually came to a Beautillion meeting till right now where they're about to have the ceremony. So it's amazing. They've had to do oratorical competitions. They've had to write the speech themselves. And then we actually judge them based on the content and the expression that they had as they were going through that process and explaining and just giving us their all, you know, during that oratorical competition. So it has been amazing to see how much they've grown from these last few months. It's absolutely amazing.
And talk about the programming that they're actually getting. I mean,
that is correct.
You were talking about the Beautillion meetings. What's happening there?
So in our Beautillion meetings, they learn about legislation, they learn about careers, they learn about sororities and fraternities, they learn about
leadership development.
Leadership development, they learn about
networking.
So many different things, absolutely networking as well. And I want to say that we've had about 8 or 9 different sessions with the young men. It has been absolutely amazing.
So you just ran through so many different things. Stas, how has it been for you to go through all of this?
It's a new experience for sure. When I first saw it, my mom was like, you should join this program, meet other people. And I was a little wary at first because, you know, I wasn't really sure what it was. But when I got there, meeting other people that I would have never seen before if I didn't join this program, doing fun activities, having people come in, teach us stuff. It was a really good experience.
And the gala that's coming up next month, tell us about it.
April 5th, which is a Saturday, at the Wurlitzer, 6 to 9 p.m. And we can give you ticket information if anybody's interested in that as well. It's going to be a celebration of these wonderful young men and their accomplishments during this year-long leadership program, including community engagement, leadership development, voluntary, philanthropic giving. Anything I missed? I can't think of them.
And lastly, they're going to be dancing with their moms. Their moms have to wear a white gown, and I am so excited, and I cannot wait. And I'm so proud of Stas. Stas is so humble, but I have to really talk about him a little bit because he has a A average. He is exceptional in school. He's the president of the senior class. He's doing so. I just can't say enough about Stas.
Is there anything else that Stas can do?
That's
a long list.
Is there anything that he can't do?
Before we let you go, you know, let's wrap with you, Stas. You know, we talk about, you know, this gala. It's a celebration of so much. What will you take after this with you, you know, after school as you grow into the man you're going to become?
From this program, I think I'm going to learn a lot about leadership. You know, a lot of the guys are telling us to be more upfront about yourself, and I think it really pushed me, especially in school, because I try not to be as outspoken, you know, or brave. And I think the leadership program really, you know, showed me how to become a leader and to further that into college, you know, not to be a follower, but to lead your fellow people and go from there.
Well
All
said.
right. Very good. The Beautillion Gala that's happening April 5th at the Wurlitzer Building. And hopefully there will be plenty of people to come out. All right.
Indeed.
Thank you. If you missed any of this, we will have all this information up on our website, WIVB.com. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.